Well, let me get another video out. So, in the black community, the women say they care about black men. When their sons are getting killed by thugs, especially the nice, they don't go out and they don't take matters in their own hands. But they wonder why other races, they wonder why black men go to other races of women. Because if women of other races, they die for their men. There's plenty of stories where I see that women go along with their men. They die with their men. They pretty much go back with their men. If a guy goes take his life, and it's not a high percentage, but it's a good enough percentage. If a dude take his own life, 9 times out of 10, the woman he with will go do the same because she misses him. If the guy ends up being killed by somebody or taking his life taken, she's gonna fight, and she's gonna fight until she finds justice or until she joins the man that she loved. There's tons of women overseas that ain't black, Asian, Latino, Indian, even white women who fought and stood by their husbands and never remarried and never did anything else with anybody else, and they fought. Here's a story about a mother who hunted down 10 cartel members that kidnapped her daughter. Now, she tragically died, probably gruesomely. But I commend her for standing up for something that she believed in and going against people when she knows she was going to die. See, there's not none of these black women. All they do is protest like that shit gonna do something. And they protest for the thugs. When nerd guys get killed by these thugs, they don't protest. They don't give a fuck. But when some thug get killed by a cop, they out in droves. They didn't march for any nerd that got killed by nobody. They didn't march for no good good guy of the community that helped people. They just let it happen, right? They never fought. They never tried to change any laws. They never did anything, right? As you see a mom who looks like she's weak, but she fought against a damn cartel by herself. There's women, groups and groups and groups of women overseas who is promoting the fact that they love black men. Not just fetishizing us, but they see just how other women treating us. They looking at the comment sections. They see how much how vitriol you got. And all that shit that happened with Austin Holloman, women definitely gonna be sitting there taking advantage of this and be like, oh, Brazil don't like black men, American black men, but y'all can come over here. It's gonna increase. The Austin Holloman effect is gonna happen. Now you got people talking about the end of passport men. This is not the end of passport bros. It's just the end of passport bros in one country. That's why I said it's always smart for you to adapt and go with something else. And sometimes you got to keep shit to yourself in a certain manner, because if you find a country that is good and pure, you only tell a few people. Don't tell these passport pookies or any of these negative ass people about a location to blow that up and destroy our image. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to get a perception of us. It doesn't work all the time, but the fact is, the easy way out for some races is to blame one person and then put it on all of us. When one person does something, they want to blame on all of us. This is what I'm talking about. Other races of people have women who care about them. Even in Brazil, you got women who will go and beat the shit out of women who cheated on their brothers, cheated on their uncles, cheated on their sons. That is the nitty gritty of some cultures. There are a lot of coaches out here who defend their men, but I don't see that happening in the so-called community. You can have a black dude kissing your ass and his wife cheat on him, but y'all don't go and beat her up. Y'all don't go and knock her out or do anything. But y'all sure do fight over the Pookies and the Ray Rays. I don't see none of y'all fighting over hardworking men, celebrating hardworking men at all. But other races of women, they celebrate hardworking men all the time. So why none of you anti-passports talking about this shit? Woman goes viral as people assume she's 24 dating a 14-year-old. Where's the videos at? Where's the videos about this? Mom allegedly found with brain matter in her hair after taking out 6-year-old son with a shotgun, indicating her first degree murders. Where's the videos at? Y'all want to talk about red pill men. Y'all want to talk about incels. Y'all want to talk about all this stuff, but y'all don't want to talk about stuff that happens when women do stuff, right? Wait. I thought it was good women out here. I thought they don't date these kind of guys. Why is it that it's an uptrend of females dating guys in prison? So they don't want to date guys that are normal and clean. They want to date guys in prison. But you're trying to tell us to go date anybody and everybody. It shows who really do got standards out here. You don't see men going around dating women in jail. You don't see men going around dating women who are homeless. If we was trying to take advantage of so-called poor women, we can do it over here. But we know it'll turn on us because there's so many other men who did try to take in homeless women, and then they end up getting knocked off, and then the person who got knocked off end up being blamed, and she get to say that she was sexually assaulted by this guy, even though it wasn't true. But you see women out here purposely dating men who are rapists. You got women who sending letters to guys who are serial killers. You got women who date guys who are in prison. But you're sitting there trying to act like it's just us and we're the problem in the dating scene. All we got to do is step our game up. Look. Rapper Juice WRLD's ex arrested at Walmart for self-checkout after failing to ring up items, being caught with drugs. This is this is what the aftermath is when women, after they're done dating a celebrity, they can't fathom themselves dating anybody normal guy because celebrity gave them a chance and gassed them up. So what they do is try to continue that high they got off of dating celebrity men, and they can't replace it because she's already used up. So now they're a bother and they treat men like shit. But at the same time, they get high on drugs and they get high off crime to fill in the fact that they ain't there no more. They not with a celebrity. But the most dangerous, these women are the most dangerous because they would do anything to jump off some clout. I told you that a lot of women don't make a lot of men happy, and they turn men into monsters. This is why a lot of men, and I talk to these guys too, this is why a lot of men say they would rather be single than married or have a girlfriend who they don't want to date, because they can literally snap. They said it. There's people, when you have there's men that said they had a gun in their hand ready to blow they woman head off because she said something dumb, or she cheated on them, or she did some really fucked up shit, and they had to talk themselves down because they was going to pop her in the head and then pop themselves in the head. This was a closed forum that I was a part of back in early 2009, 9-ish, 10-ish. And there'd be a lot of men saying how the fact is that they really think that they shouldn't be with no one because how these women are. And people kept telling them that it was the women in the country and not women in general. And guess what? Half of these dudes went overseas and they found out it was the women in America. There's a reason why a lot of us don't date. There's a reason why a lot of us don't get with these women and we can't stand them because they're inconsiderate, they self-centered, they're shallow, they're superficial. We can't stand that. A lot of guys can't stand that. But a lot of these dudes, some of these dudes who end up taking their wives' lives, they get tricked into the believing that they should be with women in this country. And then they end up doing shit like this. Where they snap out and they do some gruesome shit and now they're in jail forever. A lot of the men, they become monk mode, they so-called incels, and they want to get with who they want to get with. Because what's important is the tolerance level that you got for that other person when you're in a relationship. And if you go into a relationship knowing that you got a bad deal, you're going to have a lot of hate. And you're not going to stand for this person running around saying certain things out their mouth. A few years ago, there was a woman, cosplayer, who took out her boyfriend. Now they finally found the chilling video that revealed the model, Melissa Turner, yelled at her fiance before taking his life. But they hide this stuff and they blame the incels for everything else, right? The funny thing about this, man, is they hide all the things that women do and the red pill community bring it up. The whole goal for every man, and it looks like it, is to get your money and live outside of and live the way you want to live it without being used by society or being used by women and being trapped by these women. Don't listen to Matt Walsh. Don't listen to Tim Pool. Don't listen to any of these people. Because you don't want to turn into one of these dudes who end up taking your girlfriend's life and your wife's lives and the kids and yourself. You don't want to end up like David Jason Frank. You don't want to end up like half of these dudes in jail. Half of the dudes are in jail right now. They were not abusive to their women, but their woman had qualities that basically everybody ignored that women do have. Guess what? The mental health field is filled with feminists and LGBT. So they tell these women what they want to hear and they med them up. They give them meds and it doesn't help. And they have to survive off the meds. That woman, what's her name? The beauty pageant chick who jumped off the building, she was taking meds and she had a therapist. There's so many people who say they went through 6, 7 therapists, 6, 7 counselors, 8 counselors, 9 counselors. Why is it that you telling men to go get help when these people are so bad at their job? We can't review how many good therapists are in the world and how many good therapists are in America and how many bad therapists in America. How many times a man got misdiagnosed and how many didn't get misdiagnosed. We just saw last year of a so-called counselor screaming and telling all men, and she got fired. You see a bunch of therapists and counselors walking around talking shit about their clients on TikTok. But they tell you to go get help, right? The fuck you up even doing? Get out of here, bucko. This is the stuff that they hide. It ain't all on y'all guys. It ain't all on us. And if these guys don't talk about this, but they can keep talking about MGTOW, red pill men, red pill rage, and they can never talk about these things. Because like I said before, it's not a good thing to talk about the stupid shit that these females say and do. It's the actions that comes out and the outcomes of it. That's what I do. The outcomes. Remember the OnlyFans chick who killed her boyfriend in the hotel room and tried to blame him and say he was abusive? And then they found videos of her smacking him up when he thought that his dick was going to matter. We have to look at people's examples and outcomes so we don't do this shit and we don't end up like this. That's what this is about. And we don't have to have no sports center of females saying this stupid shit because they're going to keep saying dumb shit. You could just update it at looking at his views. Because if you run into somebody like that in real life, you know how to head the other way. This is the stuff that they're hiding from you. But they want to sit here and keep talking about passport men, talking about red pill men, talking about you should go out and date, talking about all this other bullshit, man. Let me tell you right now, right? Let me tell you this right now. And whoever I'm going to offend. ARC was talking all this cash shit about men dating and going out and blah, 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 blah. But this dude wasn't taking care of his fucking health. He could have turned this shit around years ago, before the pandemic. But he continued to sit here and talk shit about men and do all this. Just like that dumb motherfucking Kevin Samuels. He was continue to talk shit about men. And he could have turned his health around. All these motherfuckers was talking shit about men. You have to look at their fucking life and see what the fuck they did when they was alive. When they had a chance. There's always a chance to turn that shit around when your health is failing. There's always a chance to turn your shit around. My shit is seasonal. I'm having bronchitis because the fucking wind and all this fucking shit happening. But once it stabilizes, my breathing be normal. But the fact is, my shit is asthma and bronchitis. I don't have no other internal stuff. And if I feel like I do, I'm getting a checkup, I think in May. And after I do that, I'm going to the gym. So, I mean, not May, April. So, this is the thing. You have to understand that where we have no friends like that. All we have is enemies. All we have is 50-1. Y'all can take that saying, because I used to say that shit all the time to fake ass friends I had. I always said 50-1. What it means is you're always going to be in scenarios where it's 50 different things against you. In every situation, you're not going to be the person that nobody's going to be on your side. It's always going to be 50-1, especially in this feminist society. This is why you got to move in silence in real life. You can't do any associations, and you got to limit you got to limit conversations so you don't get into scenarios where it is 50-1. Even though it is going to be 50-1, you know it's going to be 50-1. But you want to know how severe that 50-1 is going to be. Because it can be severe 50-1, or it could be minor 50-1 where people going to be looking at you and talking about you, but they're not going to be aggressively just coming after you. You got to be smart. So that's it. These people hide what they say and they keep making videos. Everybody who talk against men's solution, they are not your friend. They are your enemy. And you can't trust these dudes. If you come up with a solution and they don't like it and they talk about you, guess what? They are on the side of women no matter what they say. Because the fact is, I don't have no problem with people who say, hey, I want a sex doll. I have no problem with people who say, hey, I'm taking testosterone blockers so I don't have no sex drive. I don't like it, but that's their body. I don't have no problem with people going muck mode. I don't have no problem with people going overseas. I don't have no problem with people doing whatever they need to do to get through this bullshit. Oh, I don't want to date this person, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't have no problem with motherfucking cucks. I don't have no problem with simps. I don't have problem with none of these guys. But what I do have a problem with is if you talk about other people's way of what they find a solution in. I can't rock with that.